Okay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على الأشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا نبينا وقرة أعيننا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. A very warm welcome to everybody. MashaAllah, we've just kicked off our live Q&A, but you guys gotta give me a second because my boy just got back from Hajj. MashaAllah. See my brother. Look at that. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. You good? May accept, bro. May accept. Okay. Here we are. Sorry about that. I just had to. My brother just got back from Hajj. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. What an amazing feeling. What a beautiful thing. And here's something that many of us don't think about, which is the moment you've got the time and the money for Hajj, it becomes wajib to go. If there is at least 10K, 12K in your account right now, and you're healthy, and you can get time off work, there is really no excuse. Because think about it. If I'm planning to go later, who can guarantee that I will see that later day? There is no guarantee. And trust me, you know, I don't think it's a good idea to leave this world knowing that I could have done this major pillar of my faith that would clear me out and completely remove all of my sins, and I didn't do it. Subhanallah. MashaAllah. So the questions are coming in already. Amazing, right? The questions are coming in. I'm looking at my TikTok. I'm live right now on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Brother Muhammad Imran Salim, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Thank you for joining us. We had Brother Muhsin on YouTube right now asking, how would I scale up a courier logistics business? I'm of course not a expert in that business, but the most logical thing that comes to mind is obviously you got to get more clientele, and I'm not too sure exactly which model of logistics you're doing. You need to get more business, and then you need to get more vehicles, more drivers, more vehicles. That is the basics of it. Those are the only two variables that I can think of when it comes down to scaling a business like that. And in most cases, most businesses, when it comes down to scaling and growing, is just a case of getting more customers and clients. Because if you had more customers and clients, you would figure out a way to serve them. You would find a way to serve them. Yes, you may have some restrictions in terms of there's something called a scaling growth limitations, growth bottlenecks. For example, if you suddenly got a huge contract for logistics, and you suddenly now find yourself in a position where you need to now hire an extra 5 drivers, that could be a bottleneck for you. Where am I going to find 5 drivers who are available to start tomorrow? That could be something that in your case becomes a bottleneck, which is the manpower. In other cases, the bottleneck is any other type of resource. In some businesses, and this is the worst type of bottleneck to have, is we need more space. For example, if you want to double your restaurant business, you probably need another branch. If you want to double your storage business, you probably need another building. If you want to double your property business, you probably need more property, and that's expensive. Those are expensive things, mashallah. Brother Muhammad is saying that he submitted an application to join my Advantage program, the property program, and he couldn't submit yesterday. I think yes, the our applications yesterday literally crashed because we had 150 people on the presentation, and usually we would get maybe 20 to 30 applications after that presentation is completed. And I think we ended up getting more than double that, and I think Calendly couldn't handle it and all the slots were taken up. So send an email in. You must have been receiving emails from my team. Send an email in, or try again. Try the same link again, inshallah. Okay, mashallah. Okay, so here's a good question. Brother Omar is asking, can I send you an email regarding my AI tool? Do you think it's something you could be interested in? So, firstly, I appreciate the fact that you are being proactive and asking, but this is not how you ask. If you want to get business, this is not how you ask. If you want to catch my attention, you need to understand what I do, spend a bit of time. I'm giving you advice on how to grow your business now, legit advice. You want me as a client, you need to find out what I do, how your tool can be useful to me, and then say that to me in a message. Because anyone who says to me, "Can I send you an email?" I'm like, "No, thank you. Got too many already. Don't add to that, please." Especially if it's something that I'm not particularly in need of right now. But if you came and said to me, "Tanim, I know that you have a property business, and I've done my research, and I know that you get hundreds of messages from tenants who are either interested in renting something from you or have some type of maintenance issue. My AI tool will help you do X, Y, and Z. Shall we have a call?" That's how you ask. That's how you grow your business. This is just advice and just a reminder for everybody that um, be more intentional, be more pragmatic with your business development efforts. Don't just go in marketing. There's a term called spray and pray. You spray everyone, you tell everyone about what you do, and then you pray that somebody takes it, somebody is interested. That is not good marketing at all. That is not good marketing. So that is, I'm just giving advice to everybody, inshallah, of how to think about. You want a client, put in the work, make an offer that the client cannot say no to. You shouldn't be able to say no to that because it's such a good idea and you've done your work. Someone is asking, well, what advice would you give to an estate agent with 400 properties? MashaAllah, tabarakallah. I don't think I would have any advice because estate agent, well, firstly, it's confusing because an estate agent buys and sells properties. So I'm not sure how an estate agent would have 400 properties. Maybe you're a letting agent or a management company, in which case it would make sense for you to have 400 properties, mashallah, tabarakallah. So I'm going to assume you use the wrong words, that you're actually a letting agent, not an estate agent. And if you have 400 properties, and we're quite close to that, I think we're around 360, 360-ish. We started a new sort of a service, and we went from 0 to 200 properties in 8 months, alhamdulillah. My advice would be, how can you add a zero to that? Think big. If you manage to get 400 properties, mashallah, How can we add a zero? So my question to you is, what would it take? What would you need to do in the next 5 years to make that 400 into 4,000? That's my advice to you, is a question. And that is sort of advanced. Somebody with 400 properties, you're an advanced business owner. So here's an advanced question for you and an advanced exercise for you. How can you add a zero? What would it take for you to add a zero to your portfolio? Somebody is asking for tahajjud prayer. Do you have to sleep or can you stay up? So tahajjud is when you sleep after Isha and you wake up before Fajr starts and you pray. That's called tahajjud. If you don't sleep and you end up staying up, which is what I'm doing now in the summer days, I'm staying up until Fajr starts, that would count as Qiyamul Layl. It wouldn't count as tahajjud, it would count as Qiyamul Layl. Are all your properties on Airbnb? No, we don't do Airbnb at all. We don't do Airbnb. Okay, I'm not a big fan of Airbnb in that fashion. My voice is changing sometimes. Okay. Someone saying, hi, brother, I want a quick chat with you. That's usually not. I need to know what you want to chat about because I have very limited time nowadays, unfortunately, subhanAllah. Somebody saying, loving the content, my brother, on Instagram. I really appreciate the comment. Barakallah feekum. May Allah bless you. I've got some good questions in here on YouTube now. Let's have a look. I want to become your video editor. Okay, then. Send me something. Show me what you can do. Show me what you can do. And then if it's good, you can be my video editor. No problem. Gotta be good though, because my video editors right now are world class, mashallah. Brother Muhammad Salim is asking, if I want to grow an Arabic language institute, what's your advice? What is your advice to build awareness, the brand, and eventually customer acquisition? I've run a year of program and had been successful, mashallah. I've seen quite a few successful Arabic language programs, and the reason behind their success was their marketing was on point. Their marketing was on point. They were doing very, very interesting short videos, got a large audience, and then from there, it's very, very easy to then funnel people into a course or a program. So the best question I can give you, if you wanted to grow an Arabic language institute, is what type of content can you create that would be super interesting and super relatable to someone who's interested in learning Arabic. What is the type of content they will look forward to watching? And if they watched one video, they'll be like, wow, I wanna learn more from this guy. Let me become a follower and let me continue learning from this person. I remember my wife was showing me, I think it was last year, a video of a guy who he was an Arabic teacher, and he would make short videos on common mistakes, and he would make them really, really funny. He'll make them funny, and many of them went viral. And again, look, my wife saw something and wanted me to see it too. That's a sign of great content. That's a sign of a great content. So think about that. So my advice to you would be study what everyone else is doing, and not necessarily just Arabic courses, any other language, any teachers or institutes that teach any other type of language. Study the best, see what they're doing that's going well, and then take it from there, inshallah. But it will be down to, I'm assuming you are a good teacher and the program is good. So the only thing to do now is to figure out how to get this program in front of as many people as possible who are your actual customer. There's no point showing your program to a bunch of Chinese people. They might not be interested. So we need to figure out how. And you can take inspiration in what I'm doing and my content strategy. As you can see, I'm producing short form content, long form content. I'm coming live. And I'm speaking specifically to my niche, which is Muslim entrepreneurs. And when a Muslim entrepreneur sees my content, my hope is that they like it, enjoy it, and benefit, and hence continue consuming it. And in the future, if I do have a mastermind, if I have any events, any workshops, any communities, that they won't think twice to join, inshallah. Okay, mashallah. We have a question on YouTube. I'm working in SAP consulting company for the last 10 years, and I wanted to do my own, but a little bit scared how to handle it. What I would say is start small. Start with just one client. And the first client, they don't even need to pay you. If I were in your shoes, and I had 10 years experience in SAP consulting, I would approach small businesses who maybe need SAP or are using SAP or want to start using SAP or don't know about SAP, but they would benefit from SAP. And I would just say, look, this is, I'm a consultant, I've got 10 years experience. I'm thinking of starting my own practice, and I would like to learn more about the needs of a small business or an SME, small to medium size enterprise. Would you be interested in a consulting project with me where I don't charge you anything? I'm not charging you anything. I just want to do this to learn more about the needs of your business and businesses like you. This will help me improve my offerings and my services in the future. This is a very, very valuable piece of advice, because what happens is if you manage to do that, firstly, it's going to be easy for you to get your first client. Secondly, you now have broken through the barrier of that fear, and you get to practice what would it be like to have a client, and you make it very clear that I'm going to work on your project in the evenings and the weekends. And thirdly, why is this powerful is you now have a case study, you now have a testimonial, and you now are able to say, when you go to the next company, you say, look, this is what I've done for this company, and this is how much they benefited. And you'll make your life much, much, much easier in terms of getting the next client and the next client and the next client, inshallah. But if you are too scared to do all of this, then maybe business is not for you. You got to be willing to go out of your comfort zone. And if it's too difficult for you, you're not able to do that, then maybe just stay in your job. So that is the test for you. Can you come out of your comfort zone? Right, mashallah. I'm getting some amazing questions, mashallah, today on YouTube. Let me see if there's anything. I have a good friend on LinkedIn, mashallah, brother Adnan Rafiq, asking a very good question. What has worked for you when you made a pitch to someone, and can you give a real life example that worked for you? Thing is, we're always pitching now, always pitching. In the property business, we're always pitching. And whether we're pitching to a landlord or we're pitching to a developer, we're pitching to an agency, we're always pitching. There's few things I would say when it comes to what works really well for us. Number one, I would say, is building rapport and understanding who you're dealing with. And I'll give you a real life example. 3 days ago, one of my mentees mentioned that he met a landlord who's interested in working with us, and he asked me if I could jump on a call with the landlord and just help get him over the line. And here was the situation. The landlord used to live in a house. He's turning that house into a HMO, which is our specialty, and he's considering who to give it to. He has experience with giving HMOs to a specific service where you house patients and people who are recovering from something. And his experience, he doesn't want that for his house, because he wants good people in his house. He doesn't want patience and like too many modifications to the house for supported living. So straight away, I made a note of that. I made a note of, okay, this is probably the angle that I'm going to come from. That you don't, you have sentimental value in your property. You probably don't want a whole bunch of patients in and out for the next 3 years. You want people to look after your house and respect your house. Now, the minute I said that, something clicked in him, and he's like, you are absolutely right, and I'm glad you understand me. So building rapport and understanding the need of the person, you need to know which button to press. What is going to be important to this landlord? This landlord doesn't care about getting top dollar. He wasn't bothered about that. So I didn't need to mention about any of that. I didn't need to talk about the fact that the income is guaranteed and we take care of the maintenance and we do this, we do that. I only had to say one thing. And the way he reacted to that one thing that I said, I knew I had him. I knew I had him. So when it comes to pitching to someone, you need to say what the other person wants to hear. So in order to do that, you have to understand the person that you're dealing with. And bear in mind, I never met this person on the phone. I only got to speak to this person for 10 minutes. And before that call, I asked the mentee, give me as much information as you can in terms of the context, the background, the circumstances. And from that, I started putting together my strategy. And in a 5-minute conversation, alhamdulillah, pitch was done. We're just waiting for a confirmation of when he can give us the keys. So the mistake people make, and I have got this right now, somebody's trying to pitch to me and they've just sent me a very, very generic proposal, copy and paste from somewhere else. I read the proposal and I was like, ah, the guy was really, really good. I was impressed with him, but this proposal tells me he doesn't understand my needs, and he didn't bother putting in the time to make a bespoke proposal. So that is a reflection of maybe what the service will be like when I start working with him. That's probably going to be a reflection. So I hope that helps. So just to summarize, and this is helpful for everyone and anyone, when you're trying to pitch something to someone, you need to build rapport, number one. Number two, you need to say what they want to hear. There are some people who don't care about the price. They just want to know, will you be reliable? There are some people who don't care about reliability and quality of service. They just want the cheapest possible service. You need to understand what your customer wants, and you need to speak in that language. And what if you do that, the rest will take care of itself, inshallah. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Let me come to Instagram now. Let's see if you've got any questions on Instagram. How many employees do you have at Sequoia Homes, and do you ever need recruitment agency assistance finding specific candidates? At the moment, the team is between 15 and 20. So it's getting big, mashallah, considering that I never envisioned this business to go beyond a certain size, and I just thought it would be me and maybe an admin person running this business. Now, alhamdulillah, I'm very fortunate that whenever we need to hire someone, we've experienced a lot of barakah. So the right person comes at the right time, sometimes through my social media, sometimes through word of mouth, sometimes through my network. So we've never really had to enlist the help of an agency. But maybe in the future we might. But right now, I don't see the need for us to. Alhamdulillah is obviously because of the network, and I once put a vacancy up on LinkedIn, and we had like 123 applications. So alhamdulillah, we're in a good position in terms for that. And again, this is one of the benefits of having an audience. an audience that understands you, respects you, and wants to work with you. Because you may not be the right person for the vacancy that I posted yesterday, but you will think of someone. You know what? Actually, let me put this person forward. So Alhamdulillah, that's very, very, very helpful. Someone is saying, "Well done, mom and dad must be proud, bro. MashaAllah." I hope they are. I hope they are. I definitely know my dad is proud of what I'm doing now, because he's always asking, "How's business going? How's this? How's that?" My mom sometimes still maybe thinks I should have become a doctor. Okay, mashallah, mashallah. Someone is saying, "I'm going to apply student finance loan. Is it riba?" Yes, student finance loan has riba, so be careful. Look into it carefully. If you don't need the loans, don't take them. Uh, just reading, I think I've missed a lot of comments on TikTok. Guys, if I'm not answering your question, is because probably I missed it. I've got a screen here, I've got a screen here, and another screen here, and I'm live on 4 different platforms. So I'm trying my best to keep on top of everything. And some questions I just ignore because they're just not relevant. Um, but please just ask again if I've missed your question and you really want an answer. Ask again, inshallah. A few people are mentioning about my live webinar, the property one that I did yesterday. The next one's going to be in July. The next one's going to be in July, inshallah. Okay, fantastic. So I've had a look at that. Someone, Zahi's store, bro, what is the best method to grow followers organically on Instagram? The best method is to create quality, consistent content, good content consistently. And to do both is very, very difficult. Most people don't even understand what good content is. So that alone requires at least a month of research and study. Then to do so consistently is the next challenge. How are you going to find the time to make sure there's something going out every single day, something good quality going out every single day? The way I've been able to do it is by actually getting a lot of help. There's probably 7 people working on my content right now, and which is why, alhamdulillah, we're seeing crazy growth. I think we've only been doing this for 2 months now, and I think I've went from less than 20,000 followers to over 60,000 now in just 2 months. But this is huge amount of work from a team of 7 people. Okay, so don't compare yourself to certain people who are smashing it on Instagram, because you don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. I'm spending £7,000 a month just on organic content. Now, alhamdulillah, I'm in a position where I wasn't doing this at the beginning. I've done everything on my own until the point where I could afford to get help. But I have started with my phone camera and a cheap mic from Amazon, editing everything myself. I did that for months and months and months and months. Then got the help of an editor, then got the help of a videographer. And like the third phase of that, 4 or 5 years later, is having a full-on team with a head of content, someone doing all the optimization, scripts, research. There's a lot going on. But that's because, we're trying to get to a certain point where you do become world class. But if you just have a small business and you're starting out and you want to become active on social media, you need to first understand what works on social media and on which platform. Where are your customers at? Are they on TikTok? Are they on LinkedIn? Depends on your business, depends on your avatar. Okay. Um, we are waiting for you. Okay, Muslim Marketing is asking, we're waiting for your story. My brother, apologies. I have a lot of people waiting on a lot of stuff from me. So I have to prioritize what's urgent and important. I have a lot of business partners, a lot of mentees, a lot of clients. So if something is not urgent and important, it gets pushed down, unfortunately. Amazing question from Sons of Immigrants Apparel. Assalamu alaikum. How do you manage your business such that it isn't all consuming and taking up all of your thinking, such that it becomes a distraction from deen? This is a daily battle. This is a daily battle. Although in the journey of business, you can actually experience things that make you more spiritually in tune. Your reliance in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases. Your understanding of rizq and who ar-razzaq is increases. You tend to make more dua. If you don't have a steady paycheck every month, you tend to make more dua. You tend to take more risks, which have to then rely on our tawakkul. So on one side, business can make you more spiritual, but it can also become a distraction. So that is where I think I don't have an exact strategy. It's an amazing question, mashallah, but it's something to be conscious of every day. And we're lucky that obviously every day we have five reminders. Every single day we have five reminders that look, take yourself away from what you're doing, come and put your head on the floor in front of your Lord. Remind yourself that you are nothing but dust. Remind yourself of who the real provider and king is. So those obviously are very, very helpful. And I think the second thing I would mention is that you should sort of have limits and sort of block time out. So for example, when I'm with my son, I don't care who's calling me, I'm not picking up. I'm infamous for not picking up calls because I'm busy. If I'm playing with my son, I'm not going to pick up your call. If I am doing a live presentation or a live Q&A like this, I'm not going to pick up my call if someone calls me. If I'm having coffee with my mom, I'm not going to pick up the business call. So there has to be some limitations, and there's a word I'm looking for. It's not coming to me, but almost like boundaries. That's what I'm looking for, boundaries. That certain portion of the day is for Allah, certain portion of the day is for work, certain portion of the day is for family. And you got to keep that. It can't just be all work, 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 work. And I have been in that situation where it was just from the moment I wake up to the moment I sleep is work, 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 work. And you're trying to slip in a little bit of salah, a little bit of dhikr, a little bit of Quran, a little bit of family. You don't want it like that. Inshallah. I might do a video on how I manage my time, because you can tell a lot by looking at someone's calendar and someone's diary. I block off time for specific things, and that can give you an indication of how things are slotted, inshallah. By the way, anyone on Instagram right now, have a look at SOI Apparel. I'm gonna be posting a video tomorrow, inshallah, of a beautiful product that I got the chance to wear a little while ago. I haven't had a chance to share it with everyone yet, so inshallah we'll be doing that tomorrow. How do you manage? I'm building my online presence as an affiliate agent. How do you manage running all YouTube, Instagram live at the same time? It's done through a software called StreamYard. StreamYard. Someone is giving salam from Cape Town, mashallah. I had some guests from Cape Town yesterday for dinner at my house, and I'm really hoping to visit this December. It's on my bucket list, Cape Town. And our executive assistant, she's also from Cape Town, mashallah. So we want to definitely go visit. Right, let's have a look at anything else on in LinkedIn. Okay, YouTube, quite a few questions coming on YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Meek Codes. Brother, I hope you're doing well, mashallah. Right. I'm 23. This is a question from Nas. I'm 23 and currently 7 months into my first job after graduation. Mashallah, congratulations. As an electrical engineer, what would be the first step to making extra source of income to avoid riba for a house? Mashallah, amazing, amazing question. And it's good that you're thinking about it now. You're thinking about it from now. Now, first things first, if you want to buy a house without riba and you're in the UK, then there are options. There's many options. If you're in the UK, look at all of the work that Islamic Finance Guru has done on explaining the different options and alternatives to mortgages. Number one. Number two, you're asking about making an extra source of income. And that is something everyone is looking for. And it's an absolute minefield. There's so many options out there. The first step, because you're asking for a first step, is for you to start learning. Start learning what are all of the options available right now for me to make some income. And let's say you come across 100. From there, you can then sift it down and say which ones would I enjoy doing, which ones are realistic for me, which ones I can do in my current situation, with my current skill level, with my knowledge, and with the time that I have. So then you sift it down to maybe 10. And then from there, you want to look into each of them more deeply. Let's say one of them is trading, um, trading crypto. Okay, let me learn, let me do a deep dive into that and understand more about it to see if it's something I would want to do. Let's say another one on your list is e-commerce. Okay, let me see, let me do a deep dive. Let's say another one on your list is maybe running some type of service or or teaching something. Do a deep dive. And I would say spend a year just learning. Learn. Then you'll be in a position to shoot the target and hit it. What most people do, they just jump into something without any preparation, without any knowledge, and they end up wasting a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of money. So my advice is always learn before you earn. Brother Fayaz Khan is saying, I want to quit my job due to the too much workload, which is impacting work-life balance. Please advise. So the only way, well, not the only, there's a few things you can do. You can find another job which has less workload. You can, and that would be the easy thing to do. The difficult thing to do, but probably the better thing to do, would be to figure out how can I just not need a job? Can I build an income stream? Can I build a business where I don't need to work for someone else and someone else giving me lots of work? I decide what time I want to spend with my family, what time I want to work. I'll have more control over that. Now, to do that, you're going to have to work even harder than you're working right now, but it will be for a few years, and then you can reap the benefits. Alhamdulillah, I've been working pretty much part-time, if you think about it, about 3.5 days a week for the last 3 years. But before that, I was doing 7 days a week, 10, 12, 15 hours a day for years and years and years. I had no weekend. I was just grinding, 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 trying this business, trying that business, working for this mentor, trying that thing, doing on this course. I was just constantly, constantly. So that is the part that you must go through. Imagine you're trying to build a house. Let's say building a business is like building a house. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take effort. It's gonna take some knowledge. It's gonna take some skill. And if you're, let's say you're building a house, you're also doing your full-time job and you're building a house in the evenings, you will have even more workload. So maybe what you do is move to a job that maybe the workload is a little bit less, and then invest a lot of your spare time in building a business. And it has never been easier in today's day and age. It's never been easier to start a business and plug yourself into a global marketplace. The reason why people are not doing it is because they just don't know how. And the way to solve that is to learn. You just got to learn. How long should an email be? So this is Brother Omar who offered the AI service. So how long should an email be? Uh, and should my offer be in my emails I send out? The way you want to think about it is you want to get a conversation going. You want to grab my attention and solicit a response. Imagine I'm getting hundreds of emails a day. So why would your email make me want to be like, hey, you know what, actually, let me respond to this guy? There has to be something in the email that piques my interest. And if you can't do that for a client, then maybe your understanding of the client is good enough, or the problem you're solving is not juicy enough. But if you send me an email, say, Tanim, I know I'm confident I can save you 22 hours a week of admin work through my AI automation. Here is, and don't not just about, then you gotta prove that you have substance. Here is an example of something that we delivered for a client, and this saved them 32 hours. Then I know you're a serious guy. Because many people can say, yes, I can do this for you, I can do that for you, but there's no proof, there's no substance. It's hard for someone like myself who's never met you to believe which is true, which is not true, which one is going to be a waste of my time, which one can I trust and believe. So you want to make a claim that is meaningful to me, that will take get my attention, and at the same time you want to show me some proof. You want to be able to show me some proof. Okay, mashallah. So got a question from Sadiq Mugisha on YouTube. Just started a content creation and management service for busy Muslim business owners. How are you? How are where online? How and where should I find the clients that need it? Wow. So the reason why I'm taking a minute to answer this is, if you don't know any Muslim business owners, then why are you creating a service for them? So the best advice always is line up your clients before you even start the business. So if I was thinking of creating a service, content creation and management service for Muslim business owners, the first thing I would do is find 100 busy Muslim business owners and say to them, look, if I had a service that did this, 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 and this, Would you pay this much for it? And I would want a majority of them to say yes. Only then would I go and start the business. And when I do start the business, I now have got 48 people who said yes. I'm going to go straight to them and say, hey, the business is ready now. Let's start. This is where people go wrong. You build something and then look for people to buy, for clients, whereas you should prepare the clients first and then sell the product, because that will save you a lot of time, money, and energy working on something that is a waste of time. How do you know that busy Muslim business owners want content creation? Have you spoken to any of them? So this is actually a genius way to get clients, is to approach who you think is a Muslim business owner, and you should be able to find them. You should be able to go on LinkedIn and type in CEO, founder, and you should be able to see all of the Muslim names. And you should be able to contact them and say, hey, listen, is content creation something you need help with? Now, imagine I asked 100 Muslim business owners, and all of them are saying, not really, I'm okay, thank you. So I'd be wasting my time launching a content creation and management service. So find your customers first, and if they're interested and willing to pay, then put in the time to start the business. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. Brother Kamal is mentioning he is coming to London soon. I would absolutely love to meet you too. MashaAllah. Yes, I would love to meet you too. I will drop you a message, inshallah. It'll be my pleasure to meet you, fellow Muslim entrepreneur doing amazing work. Alhamdulillah, Allahumma barik. Coming to LinkedIn now, because I'm getting some questions here, mashallah, that I didn't see earlier. Can someone outside the UK participate in your training with the intention of experimenting in the country? So, yeah, someone outside of the UK. Yes, you're most welcome to learn the model, understand what we do and how we do it, and then experiment. But if you do have questions, and if you do have some challenges and difficulties, I won't be able to support you with that, because I just don't have the knowledge of how things work in a different country. But you're most welcome to come, understand what we do, see yourself if you can see the model working. Technically, the model should work in any major city. So that was a question from Brother Muhammad Lawal. Sister Fatima from LinkedIn is asking, can you advise in investing in stocks and in a Sharia compliant way? I find it difficult to navigate this. So Alhamdulillah, we have a lot of good resources now. Islamic Finance Guru's got some good resources in terms of what stocks are halal and which ones are not. There is Brother Muhammad on Instagram. Let me quickly give you his handle. Subhanallah. It's got Muslim Investing. He's Muhammad Lambat. The handle is at Muslim Investing on Instagram. He's got a course, I believe, that teaches you. And again, it's the same principle. Learn before you earn. You won't make any money in investing unless you learn how to do it properly. But you also have services such as Wahid, where you don't need to learn or do anything. You just put the money in the account, they will do the rest. So it's up to you how you want to play this. You can either learn and do it yourself, or use a company that provides that service. They're a fund, they're experts, you give them the money, and then they invest it for you. Of course, they will take a fee, there'll be management fees, admin fees, all of that stuff, and that can eat into your gains, but you won't have to invest any time whatsoever. Is forex trading halal? Question from Brother Akil on LinkedIn. Forex is a gray area. There's a difference of opinion on this. There's a gray area. A lot of scholars don't deem it to be halal. There's many reasons for it. So I personally stay away from it. And if you want to learn more about it, there's a lot of good videos about it on Islamic Finance Guru YouTube channel. So do a little bit of research. So just the way you typed in is forex trading halal, here you can type that in into YouTube and Google and look at reputable sources giving you the advice, inshallah. Brother Hanzala on Instagram is asking, what do you think about the market for accounting services within the UK? We're a firm based in Pakistan. MashaAllah. There's a lot of accounting businesses in the UK right now who are outsourcing a lot of work in Pakistan. So maybe that's a smart way to do it. That instead of you trying to get your own clients, maybe joint venture with an existing accounting company who would save a huge amount by working with you. Brother Hanzala, this is uh, an interesting business strategy that you might want to look into and try. This is a leveraged play, meaning instead of you going out there and getting your own clients and spending months and years trying to grow your business, why don't you just leverage the fact that here's a business that already has 1,000 clients, and by working with us they can save 30% on their current costs. That's a no-brainer. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. So have a think about that, inshallah, Brother Hanzala. Jav on Instagram, I missed the application yesterday. You can still apply, but obviously we won't see it until a bit later, because right now yesterday our system crashed and we're working through all of the applications today. So yeah, it'll just take us a bit longer to get back to you. Okay, Tamam, how are we doing for time? I Let me see if there's any more questions here on YouTube. Uh, Thank you, brother. I have learned a lot. Mashallah, appreciate that. It's very nice to hear that, because that is the intention and the hope, is that we can all share some knowledge with each other and save a lot of time and mistakes from each other. Someone from India is saying, I'm started a real estate agency in India. How can I stay away from riba, because non-Muslim buys property on interest-based loans and stuff like that? Now, if you are an agent selling a property and the buyer is buying it with riba, you are not sinful for that. You just need to make sure that your transaction with that person is halal, meaning you are not charging the other person interest. How the other person is paying for the asset, that they will be accountable for that. And please do ask a local imam as well, someone who is educated in financial matters. Okay, amazing. Right. What do you do if you don't have a team with the same goals as you? Oh boy. Having a team who doesn't have the same goals as you is a big problem. And the best way to solve that is get them on the same goal as you, or get rid of them. Simple as that. You get them on the same vision, or you get rid of them. Because it's almost like saying you're a football team and your goal is to score, but your team is saying, no, we don't want to help you with that, we just want to play defensive. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a big problem, right? And I don't know if you're talking as a owner of the business or you're talking as a team member in the business, but if you got to get them on board, and if not, you got to get rid. Right, brothers and sisters, it's been an absolute pleasure. I am going to now wrap up this session, alhamdulillah. Let me see if there's anything on TikTok before I go. Um, the law. A lot of people on TikTok are asking about how do you actually buy property without riba. So my property business doesn't involve buying properties. It involves managing them and making cash flow income every single month. So if you wanted to make money from property, you can do so without riba, no problem. If you want to buy a house, that's a different story, right? Different story. And like I said a little bit earlier, if you're in the UK, there's many halal alternatives. You must do your research. Put in some work. Put in some work. All the information is there. Don't be lazy. There's many ways to. There's options now. But either way, you're gonna need money. You're gonna need a big deposit. You're gonna be able to make monthly payments. So anyone worried about buying a house, my advice to you is learn how to make more money. That will definitely help you. Learn how to make more money. Cheese is asking, is quite urgent. I'm not sure what the question was. Okay. Is there any way I can speak to you for a few minutes? You can send me a voice note on TikTok, inshallah. All right, my brothers. Barakallah fikum. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. I'll see you next Sunday, inshallah. May Allah bless you all and have an amazing rest of the week.